Okay. Go STROS. Absolutely. Let me turn that audio off there and change to my headset. Sounds like the audio is working just fine. Let's see here. Yes, it is. Audio is going good. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Wherever you are, underneath the Houston Astrodome. In case you didn't know, the Earth is a flat baseball field, and we all live underneath the Astrodome. If you didn't know it, if that's a news flash to you, it's a rude awakening, especially for those of you who are not Astro fans. But that's the way it is. Go Astros. Today we have Game 1 versus the Colorado Rockies. Basically everybody, even the Rockies fans, are expecting the Astros to sweep this series. Except, I guess, for the idealistic youth who follow the Rockies. Bless their little hearts. I understand how they feel. They still want their team to do really well. Lord knows I've had to deal with my share of miserable teams. Not just the Astros in the past, but even the Oilers, the Rockets at times. It's been a variety. It's been a mixed bag. In recent years, the Astros have completely overturned that, if you think about it. Now they're called inevitable by many. I did want to show you guys this right quick, if you will take a quick look at it. In case you didn't hear the news. Yordan Alvarez took some BP, but his hand is still hurting. It's hurting again, I guess you could say. So they pulled him off of that. They're going to have him looked at by a specialist. My question is, why didn't he have a specialist look at him in the beginning? Is there some kind of progression here that I'm just not aware of, where they, what do they do? Take him to like a little clinic or something, and they shake his hand, and if it's sore, they say, oh, he's got some soreness. And that's what they report. You know, Dana Brown or Joe Espada, they say, oh, he's got some soreness in his hand. How do you know that? Well, because we shook his hand and it was a little sore. I know that that's not really what happened. It's just what it feels like to me. Because then they take him for another MRI. And if you don't know how MRIs work, when you do an MRI, you can definitely miss fractures because of the inflammation. So until the inflammation goes down, you can't really get an idea for sure of what exactly is going on with the hand itself or the bones. I get that. But what I don't get is how people like Dana Brown and Joe Espada don't just come out and say, hey, well, listen, right now there's a little bit of inflammation, so we can't get a clear, good scan. And so we're kind of waiting on that. We're trying to get the inflammation down before we can make any assessment. So literally right now we don't know. Of course, his hand is sore, but we don't know if it's just soft tissue damage, or if there's damage to the bone. We don't know that. So we can't speculate yet. However, we're not going to waste time. We're going to go straight to a specialist. As soon as the swelling has gone down, the inflammation has gone down to a certain point, we're going to go to a specialist. We're going to have it checked out as closely as possible so we can give you guys the most accurate information we possibly can. Now, doesn't that sound like not only a really good answer, but doesn't that sound like something we deserve? Doesn't it sound like something that they should do? Doesn't that sound like something that every team should be doing? Now, I just made a video about this yesterday because I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of the Houston Astros staff being so crappy with the way they handle player injuries. And like I said in my video that I posted yesterday, I don't expect them to just give us all the player medical information. That's their private business if they don't want to share it. But if that's the case, they could just say that. However, with the information they do have and the processes that they're going through, they could be much more transparent. The Astros are infamous when it comes to this stuff, and that's why I made the video that I made yesterday. If you have about 8.5 minutes, because that's all it will take of your time to watch the video I produced yesterday. I worked on it for quite a while, put a lot of effort into it. It's something that's been on my mind a lot, and I'd really appreciate you guys checking it out. Game is about to start in just a minute or two. Now that I have gotten that rant out of my system, I want to take a look at the live chat. Daniel Berry Sports, happy Wednesday to you, sir. Casey Jones says, cheers, go STROS. Just watched all the videos breaking down Houston's success. Even the haters can't deny their efforts so far this season. Very interesting, Casey. Yeah, the Astros aren't getting any love. I'm not even going to really talk about the All-Star game. I was thinking about calling the All-Star game, but now instead I'm just going to take a break. Screw the All-Star game. Don't care about it. It's just, it's like a Hollywood. It's like watching the Oscars. A bunch of people make some stuff, and they get together and pat themselves on the back. I don't really see the All-Star game as being too different from that. It's a joke. The All-Star game right now is a joke to me, so don't care about it. Moving on. Shoot says, I love what Jordan has done for the Astros, but he's officially an injured-prone player. Well, yeah, he's kind of been that, and I can't disagree. But, you know, a lot of big guys are often like that. Look at Ohtani. Look at Judge. You know, they do get injured, you know. Chase Dollander is on the mound today for the Rockies. His ERA is 8.54 at home and 4.25 on the road. It looks like he gets lit up at home. Maybe it is because of the what do you call it? The air up there. Isn't that the name of a movie? The Air Up There. I never even actually saw that movie. It's like a basketball movie, isn't it? Doesn't it have an NBA player, or is it like a story about a guy who wants to play basketball? I can't remember. Maybe you guys can tell me if you've seen it. Mel says, I watched your Astros ongoing issue with injury transparency. I agree completely. You just mentioned the video. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mel, for watching my video. Somebody dropped in. Actually, I think one of my subscribers dropped a comment on it, and I was a little disappointed because it didn't offer anything positive. It just focused in on one thing that he didn't like, and he completely missed all of the message and all the work that I put in on that video. I worked on that all day long yesterday. I kid you not, almost 20 hours, and I didn't finish and go to bed until after 4 a.m. And right now it is almost a quarter to 10 in the morning. Isaac Paredes is leading the batting off for the Astros today, and here comes the first pitch. He fouls it off for strike one, and the game is underway. Hey, Sergio, hello to you. Thank you for being here. Casey says, I thought the air up there was about the African guy that comes to play in the NBA. It sounds familiar. I really can't remember. I didn't see it. Paredes fouls this one. A little gentle tapper. A gentle tapper. Down the third baseline. Strike two. You know, the game the other day when Paredes was up against the Cubs in Game 3, do you guys realize that pitcher, a third of his pitches went to Paredes alone? He owned him. That pitch is a little high. 80-mile-an-hour curveball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Indeed, let's go, STROS. Let's get. Outside and low, good take, ball 2, and the count is even. You guys are familiar enough with my channel by now to know that I use a tremendous amount of computer-generated artwork. Here's the next pitch, fouled off. The count remains 2-2. And by the way, before I go into that, I do want to say this. Anybody who's driving cross-country, I noticed that recently I've gotten a few comments from drivers or truck drivers and people who are driving cross-country and they're looking for the Astros games and they found my channel. Glad to have you listening in. Paredes rips that one foul. That was much stronger than his last couple of foul balls. Off into the crowd on the third base side. Here comes the 7th pitch for Dollander. 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Paredes goes down on the curveball right in the zone. Don't see that very often. Shades of Walker. Curveball right in the zone. But anyway, what I was going to say is, you know, this image on the wall here, this image of my channel artwork, the anime artwork, all of these things that I create, it's a combination of me and the online AI tools. First pitch to Jake Myers is in there. No, it's not. It's called a ball. Thought it was a strike. Here's the next pitch. That's in there. 1-1. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. Looks like Dollander can put some heat on it. Here comes the next toss. Up and in, just barely misses. Ball 2. 2-1 to Mr. Baseball with 1 out, nobody on. He socked the ball foul. Maybe, Casey? I always call him he socked the ball. But he socked the ball foul. Sometimes he does do that. That's right. Speaking of foul ball, Myers fouls that one off for another 2-2 count. But anyway, what I was saying about the AI images and stuff on my channel, anytime you see any AI video or AI images or stuff like that, I'm not ashamed at all for using AI as a tool to create videos and pictures and images for my content. Myers fouls this one off at the plate. Count remains 2-2. I am one guy. I am on disability because of cancer, okay? I get $350 a month to support myself. Do you really think I'm going to go paying people to do my artwork and buying Shutterstock for video footage and images and stuff like that? Forget that. Do you know how much that would cost me? That would cost thousands of dollars. I don't have thousands of dollars. I would like for people to be a little more constructive in their comments instead of just focusing on the thing that they don't like. Let's be positive. My hero, speaking of positivity, is at the plate. Jose Altuve. Myers grounds out. Here comes the pitch. Fouls the first one off into the crowd on the first base side. 2 away. 1 strike, no balls. Altuve batting .310 at home and .203 on the road. Significant difference there. Here's the next pitch. Right on the outside edge. Strike 2. The curveball finding its spot. 0-2. I was watching the Sports Map Houston yesterday. They posted a new video, which was pretty good. They missed something, though. They said something about Altuve being mediocre, but that's painting with a brush that is a little bit too broad. That one's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you look at Altuve's road numbers, they are below average, but at home he is tearing it up. So saying that Altuve is having a mediocre season is only telling half the story. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard into right field, but it's going to be playable by the right fielder. He puts it away. So Altuve flies out. Myers grounds out. Paredes strikes out, and Altuve flies out. 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first. In Denver, Colorado, no hits for the Astros in the top of the first. Colton Gordon is on the mound for the Astros today. He'll be up in just a moment. As soon as I get the batting lineup for the Rockies here. Here we go. Tyler Freeman will be up in just a moment, followed by Hunter Goodman and Jordan Beck. That is the Rockies starting lineup. But let's take a quick look, if you don't mind, with the Astros lineup for today, because, you know, Pena is still out. He's got a small rib fracture, whatever they call it. I really don't even know anymore. I try to say what they're saying right now. I try to say the most updated language, but it still feels useless. Pena is hurt and Pena is out. When will he be back? Maybe next week? Maybe next year? Maybe 3 years later? Don't know. For the Astros, Paredes is first in the lineup, obviously, at third base. Myers is in center field, batting second. Altuve at second base today, batting third. Cam Smith batting cleanup in right field. Victor Caratini in the DH spot, batting fifth. Diaz is batting sixth and catching. Christian Walker batting seventh at first base. Cooper Hummel is in left field, batting eighth. And Mauricio Dubon is at shortstop on Pena duty. Pena feeling the pain, yeah. 22 people following along right now and only 9 likes. Come on, man. Remember, that's a discrepancy. Let's eliminate the discrepancy. More likes on the live stream, please. Thank you in advance. First pitch is on the way. Right in there, 91-mile-per-hour fastball to Tyler Freeman. 0-1 is the count. Here's the next pitch. Right on the outside edge, strike two. Nice location. Looks like Gordon wants to create some masterpieces with that painting. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the 0-2 toss. Look at that. Rung him up on the inside. How about that? A Colton Gordon original. He paints on one side and then paints on the other side. 3-pitch strikeout to start the game against Tyler Freeman. Good start there. Thank you guys for being here. 25 people following along right now. Thanks for listening in. Please take the time to like the live stream if you can. Next pitch is hit to center field way, way back. Oh my gosh, right over the center field wall. Can you believe that? A 3-pitch strikeout to Tyler Freeman. Then Hunter Goodman comes up and hits the first pitch over the center field wall. Myers went back, but there was no getting it. It was probably about 4 or 5 feet over, maybe 420 feet. Wow. That's his 16th homer of the year, and he is tied for most first-pitch homers in either the American League or the ML this year. So he's no joke. The Rockies might be a joke, but he's no joke. Next batter at the plate, Jordan Beck takes that for a ball. 1-0 Rockies. So we're already down 1-0 to the Rockies in the first inning. That one's on the outside edge for strike one, and that evens the count. One away, nobody on. 1-0 Rockies in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice Swiffer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Casey says, holy cow, Myers is really batting over 300. Yeah, and he's been over 300 for a while. But I was just wondering, how long is it going to last, man? He's still got it going on. Word on the street. And here's the pitch. Grounded down the third base side. Barehanded by Paredes, but he has no play. It's going to be an infield hit. Beck is on with 1 out. Yeah, Paredes was playing a little too deep. He had no play. He grabbed it, no problem, but by the time he got it, Beck was already on base. Is it Tyro or Thyro Estrada? Let's see. He's at the plate now. A little high and outside, ball 1. What a name. Tyro? Thyro? Thyroid. Here's the next pitch. Way outside. Ball 2. 2-0. I guess it's Tyro. That's my guess. They haven't said his name. The commentators haven't said his name, so I'm only guessing. 2-0 count from Gordon. Here's the 11th pitch of the game. He fouls this one off for strike 1, 2-1. It is Tyro. They just said Tyro, so I'll go with that. I thought Thyro sounded kind of weird. What's your son's name? Thyroid. Thyroid. Casey says, I like to hear anime Street Fighter character yet taking the call. Next pitch is a swing and a miss. Strike 2, 2-2, 1 out. Runner on first base. Come on, Gordon. I hope this is Gordon's only issue this whole game. This is hit to center field right at Jake Myers. He puts it away for out number 2. He brings it back in, and Jordan Jordan Beck retreats to first base. 2 away, and that brings up Brenton Doyle. Brenton Doyle. Jay says that's the thing about being a content creator. You're going to have lots of haters no matter what you do. Absolutely. Absolutely. First pitch to Doyle is outside for a ball, 1-0. Doyle batting 193 this season, but 309 versus left-handed pitchers. Gordon happens to be a lefty. Here's the pitch. Nope. He goes over to first base. Beck is back. Beck is back with 2 turntables and a microphone. What nonsense. Here comes the pitch. Way outside and high for ball 2. 2-0 to Doyle. Hey, John, what's up with you? Good to see you. Brendan says not worried. Yeah, I'm not worried right now. Definitely not worried right now. Shinpai shimasen. Here's the next pitch. Just a little outside. Woo! Did he call that a strike? I was dismissing that as ball 3, but the umpire gave a late signal there. Look at this really late call. He's like, yeah, I like that. On the outside edge, maybe 2 or 3 inches out of the zone. Strike 1. Pop up to the right side. Walker's playing it over his head. Altuve takes it. Good job. Walker lost it. And Altuve knew exactly where it was. He ran straight over and grabbed it. Good job, my hero. Didn't you know that you're Altuve? It's my guy right there. 3 down. The Astros go into the top of the 2nd in Denver. Down by 1. Gordon gave up a single and a solo homer in the first inning. Let's hope. Let's believe that that's his blow-up inning. If McCullers blows up, he gives up 8 to 10, maybe 12. If Colton Gordon blows up, he gives up 1. That's what we can hope. 25 people following the live stream right now. Thank you so much. 14 likes. 6 more to 20. Let's go, go, go. And I want to catch up on the live chat and see what's going on here. Let's see. Luis Martinez, welcome back. Hello to you, sir. Good day. Let's go Astros indeed. Chris says, very strange name. Yeah, there are some strange names on this team. The pitcher's name is strange. Dollander. It kind of reminds me of the Highlander series. You know, you guys familiar with Highlander? But instead of being like from the Highlands of Scotland, it's like a guy who comes from a Dutch village who makes dolls or something. The Dollander. Yes, Lewis, it's the arrow. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. The air is thin. Is that right? Thin air. Yep, Brendan, you're right. Easiest stadium to get home runs in. So, yep, absolutely. It's a hitter's park. Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch to him is right on the outside for strike one. 79-mile-per-hour curveball. Come on, Cram. Can't get up. Cram, can't get up. Getting my R's mixed up here. I was trying to make a joke and I made fun of myself. Here's the pitch. Line drive, center field. There we go. Lead off base hit. Second pitch of the inning. Cam Smith does crank it up just over the outstretched glove of the shortstop. First hit for the Astros. Blip. Right over the glove there. Nice swing. And that brings up the Batman, Victor Caratini. He's batting lefty today. Here's a pitch. Fouls that one off. 97-mile-per-hour stinker. Haven't seen Caratini smack one of his infamous line drive home runs from the left side of the plate in a while. I'd love to see that. He's been bashing the ball a little bit from the right side of the plate, but he hasn't had as many opportunities to bat right-handed because they keep pitching differently to the Astros because of their lineup. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 90-mile-per-hour changeup. 0-2 is the count. Cam Smith on first base with no outs. Come on, man. Move him around. Dollander up to 22 pitches with this next one. Move the man around. There comes the 0-2. He hits this one up the middle. Is it going to drop? Yes, another single almost in the same spot. Opposite field, kind of. Just to the left of second base over the shortstop's head. But this one a little further out. Back-to-back singles for the STROS. Courtesy of Cam Crank It Up Smith. And the Vatman Caratini. Next batter, Yainer Diaz. Give him a shiner, Yainer. Here comes the first pitch from Dollander. That's right in the bottom of the part of the zone there. The stinker. Strike one. Chris says, Rockies have been in so pathetically, you'd think we'd have no problem. Well, yeah, but the Astros have this thing about playing up or down to the team, right? Yainer Diaz going golfing. That ball was inside and low, practically in the dirt, and he went after it. That's another thing they mentioned on Sports Map Houston yesterday, which I agree with. Yainer has regressed a little bit. Here's the next pitch. A little inside check swing. Just misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, you don't see Diaz taking walks often. He's not much of a patient batter. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to the left side. They're going to go to second and then over to first, and they'll get the double play. So Cam Smith goes over to third, but Diaz puts 2 outs on the board with the ground ball double play. Sergio says, let's hope that we're not going to play down to the Rockies level this series. Yes, that's exactly what we're thinking, right? Some people said, oh, they're going to be looking forward to the Dodgers too much and not take this seriously. I sure hope not. Walker is at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Fouls it off at the plate. 98-mile-per-hour stinker. 2 outs. Cam Smith on third base. 0-1 is the count to Walker. John says, who y'all think Astros is going to pick up? O'Hearn, Mullins, what say ye? I really have no idea. I can't even speculate. Chris is nothing like Irish names. Yeah, some of them are pretty interesting. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Walker. This one's hit to the right side. It's going to be through. All right. Christian Walker with a base hit ties it up. Walker is able to come through for the Astros with the RBI. Cam Smith can walk home on that one. Just punches it through on the right side. Little opposite field action. Nothing wrong with that at all. 1-1. The Astros just tied it up. Now we've got our 8th batter in the lineup up at the plate, Cooper Hummel. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Walker on first base. Let's see if Hummel can do something. Here's the pitch. Right in there. 98 miles an hour for strike 1. The count is even. Astros now with 3 hits this inning. Didn't have anything in the first. 3 singles this inning. And 1 double play. Thank you, Yiner. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Ball 2. 2-1. J. Paul says, I'm out on Mullins hitting 180. Oh, 180. Good grief. No, thank you. Leave him out. No, thank you, sir. We got plenty of guys that can do it 180. This is hit into center field and playable for out number 3. So Cooper Hummel flies out to center field, but thankfully Walker manages an opposite field single, and the Astros tied up 1-1. We go into the bottom of the 2nd. The game tied, but the Astros have 3 hits in 1 inning. That's looking nice. 3 hits for the Astros, 2 hits for the Rockies. Tie game 1-1. Let's see here. In the live chat, what do we have? The Blue Jays beat the Stankies 12-5. That's great. Oh, Canada. J. Paul says Stankies suck. They are really, really starting to kind of stink it up, aren't they? They started off gangbusters, and now they are busted. Astros can just keep increasing their lead over the Stanks. Sergio says the A's are beating the Rays 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Okay. Comeback Rays. Go Rays. I mean, I'm not worried about the A's, but whatever. Lewis says, guess we are scoreboard watching. Loving it. Casey says, my prediction is Doobie gets the most RBIs this game. Really? You know what? I'm going to go with Altuve. I know he's my hero, but I've been waiting for him to have a big blow-up game. And he did fly out in the first at bat, but I'm feeling good. I think he's going to have a good game. He's going to have such a good game they're going to take him out early. That's what I think. We'll see. Just haven't seen him have an outstanding overall game with hits in several games. So we'll see. Chris says it's that time of year, isn't it? As far as picking up people. Yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close. John says, yep, all-star break. That's right. Here's the first pitch to the next batter Gordon has to face. Kyle Farmer. You a farmer? Yep. What do you farm? Kyle. Here's the pitch. Right in there. Nice toss. The curveball finding its mark. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 20th pitch of the game on the way. Grounded down the third baseline. Foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I have some coffee in here. Yeah, it's pretty cold though. It's almost time to make some fresh. Swing and a miss. How about that? Another strikeout for Gordon. First inning, he started off with a 3-pitch strikeout. This here is a 4-pitch strikeout. A nice swinging strikeout on the changeup. Good toss. 1 away. Farmer goes down, and up comes Michael Toglia. Up and out of the zone for ball 1. Fred, I saw that comment. Here's the pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0. Fred says Christian Walker gets a hit with someone in scoring position. Things all looking, I guess you mean looking good for Walker? Yeah, anytime Walker gets a hit, especially with a guy in scoring position, that's a big deal. He's been nothing short of disappointing so far this season. 2 balls and 1 strike on Toglia with that foul ball. Here comes the next toss from Gordon. There we go. Nice pitch. 79-mile-per-hour Swiffer up and out in that corner, upper outer corner. Strike 2. Here comes the 2-2. Ooh, is that strike 3? Oh, I thought that was a delayed strike 3 call. It was in the lower outside corner of the zone, and that umpire laid off. That was a beautiful changeup. Should have been strike 3. Next pitch is hit into the air. Walker is over to grab it. Should be playable, and it is. He puts it away for out number 2. So Gordon doesn't get the strikeout, but luckily he flies out, or he fouls out on the next pitch. 2 away, nobody on. Next batter coming up is Orlando Arcia. Orlando Arcia. Interesting. Or Arcia? They're saying Arcia. I thought maybe it was Arcia, but they're saying Arcia. Why is it Garcia, but Arcia? Arcia. Why are they saying Arcia instead of Arcia? I don't know. Top of the zone, strike 1. The count is even. First pitch was a ball while I was yammering about his name. 1-1 is the count. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the next pitch from Gordon. Right in there. The stinker. Strike 2. 1-2. Chris says it would be so great if Altuve would have a blowout game. I absolutely want that. In this park, it's a good opportunity for him to do that, kind of get his mojo back. In the dirt, 2-2 is the count. Brendan says, I heard Jordan might be back for Dodgers. Saw some articles saying that with Dana Brown. That's impossible. There's no way. There's no way. They were talking about that originally, about him coming back for the Dodgers series, but there's no way he's going to do that now. You can put that one to rest, Brendan. Unfortunately, Yordan Alvarez is not going to be in the Dodgers series. They sent him for a batting practice at their spring training camp, and then he had hand soreness right after that. So this is what we would call a setback. Another setback. One of a series of setbacks. And if you guys have not seen my video that I posted yesterday, you'll understand why we keep having the same situation over and over again. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and that's outside. Ball 4. Orlando Arcia walks. First walk issued by Colton Gordon. He's up to 34 pitches right now. 2 out walk. Ryan Ritter, the 9th batter in the lineup for the Rockies, comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Fouls it off at the plate. 80 miles an hour on that Swiffer. 0-1. Casey says Doobie's batting last, so I think he's going to have runners on base. He might. He just might. I'd like to see Doobie continually doing better and better. That'd be great. We need him. We need everybody to contribute. But, you know, somebody like Doobie is always jammed down into the bottom of the lineup. How great would it be for him to be batting at least 275 on a regular basis? That's always been my hope for the Astros lineup, is that we don't have any batters under 275. How great would that be? Man, can you imagine? That pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ryan Ritter, who's batting .222. Runner on first with 2 outs. here comes the 1-2 in the dirt. So check this out. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ritter batting .222. The only thing we're missing is the base runner being on second base, and then everything would be 2s right now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Gordon. This is hit hard into left field, and that's down for a hit. Cooper Hummel will bring it in pretty quickly, so the runner has to stop at second. Runners on first and second. 3 hits now for the Rockies, a walk and a single. So after 2 outs, after getting the first 2 outs, Gordon gives up a walk and then a single. Come on now, simmer down now. Simmer down now. Hey, Fox at bat, good day to you. Here's the pitch. First pitch is fouled off by Tyler Freeman. Back to the top of the batting order for the Rockies. So in the bottom of the second, the Rockies get back to the top of the batting order. Gordon going through just a little bit too many batters right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In the dirt, that one gets away. Runners are going to advance to second and third. Diaz couldn't handle the Swiffer. That was, man, that had a lot of movement on it. I don't know if that's going to be a wild pitch or a passed ball. Whoo, man, that thing just kept going. Yiner didn't realize that was just going to keep moving. The pitch was too good. Now they're having a little meeting on the mound. Now that the runners are in second and third, they're having a little chit-chat. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tyler Freeman. Yeah, John, you're right. I saw earlier when they interviewed Dana Brown, and they said that, you know, he's definitely not going to be on for the Dodgers series. And to be honest, right now they're not sure. They're going to have him go to a specialist. So, I mean, think about this. If his hand was injured, and it is, and it's still sore after some batting practice, you know he's not going to be back anytime really soon. So we can just forget about Jordan for right now. Wish him the best. Believe that he is well, that he is good and strong. Here comes the pitch. The 1-1. Ground ball to Dubon. He fires over to first base. Out number 3. Good job. I don't know what Diaz and Gordon discussed, but it was a good plan, and Dubon puts it away for out number 3. No damage done there other than the hit, the walk and the hit, the passed ball. No run score. Gordon gets out of the inning, but he is up to 40 pitches. He's averaging 20 pitches per inning. That's a wee bit high. Yeah, John, it's the same nonsense. It's always the same nonsense. That's why I made the video that I made yesterday. I'm not surprised at all. I think it's sadly hilarious that the Pena situation. I mean, I had just posted a community post saying that, oh, Espada said that it's just a little soreness. He's going to take a couple of games off. He'll be back. I kid you not. As soon as I posted that, then suddenly they say he's got a small rib fracture. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? And at that point I said, forget this. And so I decided to make a video that I've been thinking about for a while, which is the Astros' lack of transparency and improper handling of the injuries of the players. So I made that video yesterday. I spent literally the entire day working on that video, and I thought about putting it to the side, getting some sleep, calling this game, and then finishing it this afternoon, but I just could not let it go. So I finished it around, actually it was close to 4 o'clock in the morning here in Japan. I posted it, and it's up on my channel. You guys can check it out. I put a lot of work into it, so I appreciate you looking at it and giving me some positive comments and likes. John says the cheap extension makes a lot more sense now. I'm with you on that, brother. I'm with you on that. Doobie is at the plate, takes the first pitch for ball one. Let's see if Doobie starts getting those hits like we were talking about. Here comes the next pitch. Hey, he's got one right there. Second pitch, opposite field single. Astros are single happy. 4 singles. There we go, Doobie starting it off with a hit. 1 runner on, opening, or leadoff runner, rather. A leadoff hitter, leadoff runner. Paredes is at the plate, takes that first pitch a little high for ball one. This is your park, Paredes. Why don't you crank one out here and give the Astros a nice start-off lead here in the top of the third. Here comes the 1-0 pitch in the top of the zone, but this one is a strike. 1-1 is the count. Fred says the Astros and the medical staff induced setbacks. Yeah, basically. Maybe Jordan could have been back if they had done something sooner, right? It's possible. I don't know for sure. But at the very least, I know that the Astros staff are not communicating in a respectful, proper way. So they get a D minus. I won't give them an F, but I'll give them a D minus because they are really bad, really bad. They would not pass if the Astros staff were trying to pass and get their university degree in communicating with the fans on injuries. They would not pass. Here's the next pitch to Paredes. Woo! Right on the outside edge, called ball 3. 3-1. Paredes making him work a little bit now. Lewis says swing and miss the like button like a Hunter Brown fastball. Get the channel to 600. I'd say swing and hit that like button. Ball 4, Paredes walks. How about that? We got 2 runners on with no outs. Second inning in a row. Let's see if we can avoid the double play this time. Jake Myers comes to the plate. Mr. Baseball. If anybody can get a base hit here, it's Jake Myers. The only question is, will it be an opposite field or will he pull the ball? Let's see. Here comes the first pitch to Jake the Rake. He does go opposite field, but too far opposite. Foul ball, strike 1. 49 people listening in. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like the live stream. I'd really appreciate that. My guess is that many of you listening in are maybe Rockies fans. Do Rockies have any live play-by-play going on right now? You can let me know in the chat. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Myers. Fouls that one back. The four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour. Strike 2. Dollander on the mound with 2 runners on, no outs here in the top of the third, facing the incomparable Jake the Snake Myers. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. No, he goes to second. He throws it into center field. Dubon was on second base, and Dollander spun around suddenly and made a pickoff move to second and just threw it into center field. Paredes was not able to advance to second because the ball went straight to the center fielder, but Doobie rushed straight over to third base. Look at that, right over the head of the second baseman there. That was funny. Runners on the corners with no outs. 0-2 is the count to Jake Myers. Things just got a little bit easier for the Astros. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yes, Brendan Cam has been on fire. Let's hope it continues. We need him. We need him to stay on fire. Here's the pitch. This is hit really hard down the line in left field. Crowd's very quiet. It gets pretty close to the wall out there, but it drifts into the crowd for another 1-2 count. Not too far from having himself a 3-run shot right there. 3 more likes to get to 30, guys. Hook me up if you don't mind. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Dollander. Ground ball, a shortstop. That might be a double play. It is, but the Astros do get a run. Hey, look at that. Myers beat the relay throw. That is not a double play. Myers gets the infield hit. Myers hustled down the line. Look at that. And beats the throw. Just barely. Are they going to look at that? Woo! Nice. Only 1 out. Myers on first base and Altuve's at the plate. Sounds like some of the Rockies fans are just as ignorant as some of the other fans, or most of the other fans of the other teams, booing as Altuve comes to the plate. First pitch, Altuve shows bunt. Somehow pulls it back. You know how Altuve likes that sneaky last-second bunt, but he pulled back. Whoa, he almost gets hit there. 2 balls and no strikes. I don't know how the umpire called that first pitch a ball. It looked like Altuve went after it with that bunt attempt. Astros up 2-1 with 1 out. Myers on first base, Altuve at the plate. Just a tad above the zone, but called a strike. A little high for Altuve. Maybe at eye level. Two balls, 1 strike. Here's a pitch to Altuve. Way outside and down, ball 3. Come on, Altuve. You're doing a good job. You're taking the right pitches. He hasn't swung at anything. There's been nothing really good to swing at, but I really want him to rip it. This is a Hunter's pitch. Ball 4, way outside and low. Another walk for the Astros. Good at bat for Altuve, but unfortunately he doesn't have anything to swing at. Dollander is up to 50 pitches with his next delivery to Cam Smith, who is on fire right now. Of course, that's going to draw a mound visit by the pitching coach. Maybe that's a good opportunity for me to make some more hot coffee. Check out the live chat. J. Paul says, thinking of starting a GoFundMe for new MRI machine for the team. I hear that. Pay for a specialist instead of them sending the players to emergency care. A small emergency care sports clinic. Well, we don't really have the equipment to properly check out that hand or that rib. Well, it's okay. It's okay. Just, go ahead and do your best. We got to tell the fans something, but we don't want to tell them anything negative. So just go ahead and check it out. Well, it's not really going to tell you. Just go ahead and check it out. That's what it feels like, right? That's what it feels like. Cam Smith is at the plate. First pitch is on the way, and there we go. Another single into right field. Myers had a jump, so he gets over to third base. Altuve has to stop. He has to put on the brakes at second base because Myers was not able to score. I'm sorry, Myers was only coming from second. My bad. I misspoke about that. Myers was on second. Altuve was on first. They could not advance to home and third because that ball was put out to right field so fast that it came in fast. But Victor Caratini comes to the plate, the Batman, with 1 out and bases juiced here in Denver, Colorado. Come on, Batman. First pitch is on that inside edge. Curveball and 79 miles an hour, strike 1. 0-1 is the count to Caratini. Here comes the pitch. Fouls that one off. 0-2. Fred says it started last year with how the medical staff handled Tucker's leg injury. No, it didn't. It started before that, my friend. It started long before that. At the very latest, it started with McCullers. But they were having issues before that. But McCullers is the big one. Here's the pitch. Low and in the dirt. Inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Caratini. Started long before Tucker. The Astros problems. Dr. DeLay says, raise the Jolly Roger. Thanks for stopping in. How did the game go, by the way? I didn't check out the score. I've been too busy. Here's the pitch. The Batman fouls it off. 99 miles an hour on that pitch. The count remains 1-2. Bases are still juiced with 1 out. Shake says, let's go Astros. Absolutely, let's go. Houston, Texas Dave says, let's go Cam Smith. I agree with that too. Fred says, we got real lucky to see Fromber pitch and Tuve home run past Sunday in Houston and a win. Yes, we did. This is hit really hard. It might be a grand slam. It is. It's gone. Caratini does it. What did I say? I've been waiting for Caratini to blast one out. Grand slam for Victor Caratini. The Astros are up 6-1 over Colorado. The Batman, Victor Caratini, comes through for the STROS with bases loaded and 1 out. How about that? Victor Caratini, the Batman. Right there, guys. The Batman, Victor Caratini. What can I say? Next batter is Yainer Diaz. He comes to the plate. First pitch on the way. Low and outside. Ball 1. Victor Caratini, the Batman, the Grand Slam. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Six to 1. 6 hits for the Astros, 6 runs. Me likey. Here's the next pitch. Outside, half swing and miss by Yainer. Come on, don't be a yawner. They've already got a guy warming up in the bullpen. Holy cow. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Yainer. Fouls that one off. Come on, Yainer. Don't be yawner today. Be shiner. Be shiner, Yainer, not yawner, Yainer. Come on. Come on. Delay says we won it 1-0. Wow. Sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 8th. That's a very tough game to watch. Those close games, low scoring like that, very difficult. Yawner grounds out to the shortstop. 1 more out on the board. That's 2 outs. There's that. Look at this bat flip from Caratini here. He's like, yep. Boom. Nice one, Batman. Crushed it. 2 outs. Christian Walker at the plate. He singled his last at bat. Swings at this one and misses it. 413 feet on that right field shot. Sorry about that. Muted my microphone a little too early. Walker grounds that one foul on the third base side. 0-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. J. Paul says, na Batman. That would be a funny little clip to put in here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Walker fouls that one off. The 99-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle. Thanks, Dr. Delay. Thank you very much. I think we're off to a good start. You have a good day where you are, and congrats on your win as well. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Walker fouls that one off again. Count stays 0-2. Yes, Houston, Texas Day. Astro smash. It's like Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. Here comes the pitch. Low and outside, ball 1, 1-2 to Walker. Yeah, John, you're right. He's been hitting some long outs, and he's been hitting the ball really hard right-handed, but he hasn't had as many opportunities as he's had lefty. But normally he can rip it, get some line drive home runs. That one was a nice one, especially for this park. That was just a good swing, good opportunity for him to unleash. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Walker. That one's fouled off and rolls towards the pitcher. I guess it went off his foot. Count remains 2-2. Shaken and stud. Well, that's right, Houston, Texas Dave. Shaken, not stud. That's right. Something like that. Glenn says, I joined here 2 pitches before the grand slam. Nice timing. Came in at the right time. Here's the 2-2 to Walker. A little high. Full count. Walker working this count like Isak the ball Paredes. Is Walker going to swing at this one or get a walk? Here's the pitch. Full count. Hits it up the middle. Another single for Walker. He rips it right up the middle. How about that? A 2-hit game. 2 for 2. Walker is on first base. The Astros now have another hit. That's 7 hits in total in the first 3 innings. That might be all for Dollander. Are they going to leave him in and let him try to finish? Yeah, they're going to pull him out. New pitcher coming in for the Rockies. Dollander is up to 69 pitches, man. Oh, he looks really upset. I feel sorry for the guy. He was standing there looking real, just staring. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Giving up so many runs in just 1 inning. I mean, he gave up the 1 in the second. He didn't start off bad. He had 3 up and 3 down, I believe, in the first inning. Got out of a jam, giving up only 1 in the second. But then he got blown up in the third. Feel sorry for the guy. But go Stros. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's like, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I feel for you. But go Stros. It feels so rude, right? Let's check out the live chat. What am I missing over here? Houston, Texas Day says 8.5 on the bat flip. Yep. You'd think that the Batman could give her a better bat flip than that, but it was still pretty good. I agree with your assessment. I will double down on your 8.5. I like your rating. It was not perfect, but it was kind of funny, so I liked it. 8.5 for me too. Caesar, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome back. The whole band is hitting tonight. That's right. Everybody's getting involved. That's what I like to see. Let's see. Who doesn't have a hit for the Astros right now? Just Paredes, Myers, and Altuve. And Diaz. And Hummel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 4 of the Astros have these hits. So not even half of the Astros have hits, but some of the other Astros have walks. So even though some of them don't have hits, they've contributed. Like Altuve, he walked. Paredes walked. And now no, Walker got a hit. He got another hit. He didn't walk. He's got 2 hits. Jimmy Herget? Is that how you say his name? Another strange name. Hummel is at the plate, takes the first pitch in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. How do you... Man, what a strange name this is. Jimmy. Jimmy's easy, but Herget? Herget? Yeah, it is Herget. I just heard him say Herget. Next pitch is in there for another strike. 0-2 against Hummel. Hummel 0-1, or 0 for 1 rather, today. So far, nothing going on for Hummel. Runner on first with 2 outs. Here's the pitch from the righty. Man, that curveball had so much action on it. It was like a Swiffer. Ball 1, 1 and 2. 41 likes on the live stream. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. 58 following along. If you have not liked the live stream, I appreciate you doing so right now. Thank you so much. Go STROS and all that. In case you didn't notice, this is an Astros live play-by-play channel. And I just happen to like the Astros. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Hummel. And that'll be strike 3. So the Astros' damage in this inning ends. The Rockies bring in a reliever and manage to stop the bleeding, but not before the Batman makes them pay the price. You don't pitch that to the bat. You don't pitch that to the bat. 6-1 Astros going into the bottom of the third. 7 hits to the Rockies 3. 1 error on the Rockies, none for the Astros. What's up in the live chat? Oh, I need to add a little more hot water for my fresh cup of coffee. I've got a second hot cup on the way. You guys want to hear something interesting? I'm going to the hospital next week, not to see my doctor, but to see my social worker or counselor, my hospital counselor. I am going to ask her for a not a favor. I'm just going to ask her if she'll do something. When I recover from, when I completely cover, when the doctor says I'm recovered from this cancer tumor, I want her to go out to dinner with me. That's the only reason why I'm going by the hospital. Is to tell my hospital counselor that I've decided, what the hey. She has been so awesome for me over the past 3 years. Just no matter which direction, no matter what my emotions have been, up or down, going this direction or that direction, taking medicine, not taking medicine, listening to the doctor, not listening to the doctor, being admitted to the hospital. I was in the hospital once for 2 months with a blood clot in my leg. Very dangerous. Doesn't matter. She's literally been through all of that for me. Been right there supporting me the whole time. Never questioned me. First pitch to Goodman was outside for a ball. Second pitch is kind of a repeat. Ball 2. 2-0 to Goodman. He is 1 for 1 today with a home run. Next pitch is in the dirt for ball 3. So it looks like Gordon doesn't really want to pitch to Goodman. Maybe he's a little gun shy. Here's the next pitch. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk. Something you don't see very often from Gordon. I think it's pretty obvious that Gordon just is a little scared to pitch to him since he got rocked by him that last at bat, but it's okay. Maybe after this he'll just have 3 up and 3 down, or maybe a double play ball. We'll see. Jordan Beck is at the plate. Here's the pitch. Fouls this one off on the first base side up into the crowd. Strike 1. Hey, old dog. Good to see you back. Internet has been down since Friday. Holy cow. Does that include cellular data? I know some people have like unlimited data and some don't. I always have unlimited data because I can't imagine having a limit on how much data I can use on my phone. I'm constantly having to use it for all sorts of things. Foul ball for strike 2 against Beck. 0-2 is the count. Next pitch on the way. Ooh, right in there on the inside edge. but called a ball. Look how close that was right there. Man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the 50th pitch of the game for Gordon. Beck fouls it off. Runner on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Jordan Beck. Yeah, Sergio, thank you for the reminder. Absolutely. Like the live stream if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate did I say subscribed or ascribed? What did I say? Too many things going on at the same time. If you have not subscribed to the channel and you like the Houston Astros, please feel free to do so. I'm up to 561 right now. Would love to get to 600 soon. Fouled off. How nice would it be to get to 600 before the All-Star break? That'd be great. That'd be really great, guys. Fouled off. Count remains 1-2. Here's the next pitch. Low and inside. Just moved up to 562 subscribers. Thank you so much. Just picked up a couple of subscribers in the last couple of minutes. I appreciate you being here. Here comes the next pitch. Ground ball to the right side, and that's going to be right through that big old gap. Runner will easily go to third. Smith brings it in, but there will be runners on the corners with no outs. Gordon having a little bit of trouble now here in the bottom of the third. Outside corner fastball, easy opposite field hit. If you got a guy at the plate batting right-handed and there's a huge gap on the right side of the field, that's definitely not where you want to put the ball, especially a low 90s fastball. But he did it anyway. Uh-oh, this is hit hard into right field, all the way back to the wall. Cam Smith makes a jumping catch. The runner at third will tag and come in and score. But Cam Smith takes a multi-base hit away from Tyro Estrada with a good catch against the wall in right field. Man, look at that. Right at the wall. Good pitch by Cam Smith. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself. I was wondering if that one was going to keep floating and get out. But Cam Smith is able to put it away for out number 1. Also keeps the runner at first base. Third base runner tags up 6-2 now. Astros up by 4. Brenton Doyle's at the plate. He taps this one to short. Kind of held up. A little delay on that behalf of Dubon there. He couldn't quickly get it over to Altuve. There's that catch by Cam Smith at the wall. No double play on that ground ball, thanks to the poor transfer from glove to hand by Doobie, but they do get the runner at second base, 2 away. First pitch is low and inside, in the dirt, actually, to Kyle Farmer. You can ignore the guy on the screen right now. The API from MLB is not updating. That has nothing to do with me, for those of you who don't know. This is a ground ball. Dubon dives and grabs it, fires to first. Good job. So Dubon makes up for the fumble on the double play possibility ball and makes a fantastic play to get the third out on that grounder. A diving play. Out number 3, Gordon gives up another hit. Gives up another run, but the Astros are winning going into the top of the 4th, 6-2. Let's see if Gordon can go 6 innings and keep it under 3 runs. His current pitch count is a little high. He might not be able to go more than 5, but we'll see. We'll see. It depends on how he does over the next inning or so. We'll see. Jay says, pitching is such an art, like that guy throwing 99 still getting lit up. Yeah, you're right. Jay says she may be watching. Right now she's definitely not watching. She is at the hospital working right now. It is 10:49 in the morning, and she works Monday through Friday from maybe 9 o'clock until 6 or so, sometimes a little later, depending on what she has to do. She puts a lot of time and effort into her job. She's never been married, and she lives with her mother. She's Japanese, and right now she is I guess you could say she's the main person, the number one main person in my life that 100% supports any direction I want to go. I could have tried, even with my health, I could have tried to go back to work, but I'm 50. And getting a teaching job at 50 years old in Japan is not so easy. Dubon is at the plate, takes that first pitch a little inside, but it clips the edge. No, it doesn't. It's called a ball. I thought that was going to be a strike. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch to Doobie. Hey, look at that. Oh, man, good catch by the third baseman. Doobie ripped a line drive down the third base side. He's staring at the third baseman and smiling about it. But, man, he hit that hard, hard, hard. Out number 1. He socked the ball. Paredes walked his last at bat. Swing and a miss there. 93 on the stinker. 1 out, 1 strike. No runners on here in the top of the 4th. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 1. But yeah, you're right. Houston, Texas. Dave, good people, those hospital folks. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been in the hospital many times here in Japan. I've had to stay in the hospital for over 2 months. Outside, ball 2, 2-1 to Paredes. And it was like being on vacation in a resort, but being in pain because of my health situation. But the way they took care of me there was just absolutely amazing. Fouled back, strike 2, 2-2. But my hospital counselor, she has been there for me for 3 years and is absolutely amazing. The number 1 supporter in my life. I'm not kidding. It's not just because it's her job either. In the dirt. Ball 3, full count to Paredes, not surprising. Full count with 1 out, nobody on to Isak the ball Paredes. Jimmy Herget is on the mound. Swing and a miss. How about that? That's the second swinging strikeout for Paredes with the ball in the zone. Today, Christian Walker and Isak Paredes have changed roles. Walker is getting hits. Paredes is striking out with balls in the zone. How about that? Jake Myers at the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. Here comes the pitch. Myers hits this one into shallow left field. Easy out on the very first pitch. Out number 3. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 6-2 Astros. 7 hits for the STROS. 4 for the Rockies. 1 error for the Rockies. None for the STROS. Oh, I just realized I have my Oh, no, okay. I thought I had my editor open. I thought, man, I'm using way too many system resources if I've got my editor on. So, all right, I'm glad that's not open. That would be destroying my laptop to run my editor at the same time as this software. 46 likes on the live stream, just 4 more to get to 50, guys. Let's keep pushing it up, pushing it up, pushing it up. Thank you so much for being here. Daryl, hi to you too. Thank you for being here. Daryl says if the Astros play their cards right, I think we can win it all this year. Well, I definitely believe that the Astros can win it all. Obviously, health has something to do with it. They need to stay healthy. But, you know, we have 2 aces, Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez. And that's literally the main reason why we're contenders. Without them, we can't even think about contending in the playoffs. We have to have those 2 guys. We have some supporting pitchers who are providing some much-needed assistance, but we are missing some key pitching staff. However, we are managing. We are still managing thanks to our relievers and primarily our 2 aces. First batter this inning is Michael Toglia. He's 0 for 1 today, batting .200 for the season. First pitch is hit high in the air to center field. Who's going to take it? Dubon stays with it. I was kind of wondering who was going to grab it. Nobody seemed like they were going to take it, but Dubon puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what I'm talking about. Gordon is up to 60 pitches with this next toss. If he's able to get out of this inning pretty quickly, then we might be able to see him last at least through the 6th. We'll see. Fastball right in the middle. Strike 1 to Orlando Arcia. Here's the pitch. Just a little inside, ball 1. The count is even. Even Steven. Yes, Ayush, you're right. We got some offense, baby. We got some offense. Victor Caratini with a grand slam. You missed it. High and outside, ball 2. 2-1 is the count. With 1 out, nobody on. Toglia at the plate facing Colton 45. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a Swiffer. Jay says, heard another good Astros podcast called Banging the Can. I believe I've seen that before, but I can't recall enough about it to agree or disagree. Swing and a miss on the foul tip. Caught by Yiner. Strike 3. Strikeout for Colton Gordon against Arcia, and out number 2. Here's the first pitch to the next batter. Next pitch is fouled down the right side for strike 2. I think my satellite was reconnecting or repositioning there for a moment. Lost a connection for a few seconds. No big deal. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I love this picture of Altuve they have with his tongue sticking out. Coming up next for the Astros, and Altuve with his tongue out. Hilarious. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. Counts remains 1-2. Daryl says, what will we do without nurses? God has blessed us with good doctors. Well, you know what? Nurses and doctors are like people. Some of them are very good, and some of them are so-so, and some of them are not good at all. Not necessarily for malicious reasons. My mother was a nurse, and she did care about people. But you know, you guys probably know this, but being a doctor or a nurse especially, very high stress. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that one's just barely below the zone on the outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But nurses have to deal with a lot of crap. Sometimes literally. It's ridiculous. Ground ball to the third base side. Diving stop by Paredes. He fires it over to first, and not quite in time. What a beautiful play. Beautiful, beautiful play by Paredes. He eliminates an extra base hit. He doesn't get the runner at first, but what a beautiful catch. Take a look at this. Boom. He makes the play. Just couldn't get it there in time. But he stops the extra base hit. A full step behind Ritter. So Ritter is on first base with an infield hit. 2 outs, runner on for Tyler Freeman. A little low, ball 1. How many pitches does Colton have, says Havoc? 72. 72 pitches right now. Here's the next one, 73. That's hit out into right field. That's going to be just foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Or is that 1-1? I thought that was strike 2. I guess it's not. I guess that's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler Freeman. With 2 outs, runner on first. Here's the next pitch. That's a line drive right out of left field all the way to the wall. They might score a run. They're going to wave him in. Yep. Hummel can't bring it in. Here's the throw. It's going to be way late. RBI double for Tyler Freeman. 7-3. I'm sorry, 6-3. So the Rockies are slowly coming back, scoring 1 run here and there. Once again, right down the line, but that was a line drive into left field all the way to the wall. And Hummel was not playing over there. He was playing not for the pool. So it was very easy for the runner to score from first base. Runner on second with 2 outs. So Gordon having trouble now getting out of the inning. 6 hits for the Rockies. They have almost as many as the Astros do. Hunter Goodman comes to the plate. He had a solo home run earlier in the game, a walk, and he has scored twice. Here comes the first pitch from Gordon. Hit high in the air on the very first pitch, but playable by Myers in center field, who should put it away. And he does, and that's out number 3. Finally, we get out of the inning. That's the end of the 4th. Another run given up by Gordon. So Gordon has given up 1 run in 3 of the 4 innings we have played here in Denver. Top of the 5th coming up, and Jose Altuve due up first. 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Sergio says the Rays are losing 4-3 to the A's. In the middle of the 10th. Okay, so they have a chance to come back. Let's see if they can do it. Justin says it's a shame Blanco's out for the season. He's a really good pitcher and would have helped us tremendously. Yeah, Blanco's one of those guys we needed. He's a workhorse. Absolutely. If we had Blanco, Hunter Brown, and Fromber in our rotation, that would be absolutely amazing. Can you imagine if we also had Arrighetti? If we had Blanco, Arrighetti back in their best form alongside Valdez and Brown, there's no way we could be kept out of the World Series. There's just no way. Even with the Astros batting average, it would be enough. It would be enough. But right now they're still getting it done, guys. I mean, the Cubs are a big hitting, big home run team. And yes, they did have a blow-up game against McCullers, but that's a special situation. If they had been facing just gusto from the start like they should have been, there's no way they would have scored that many runs. Altuve still looking to tie. I think it's Bagwell. He needs another hit or two. July 2017, Altuve's batting average was 485. That's nuts. Nobody has been that good for the Astros in July. First pitch, he grounds out to third base. We're talking about how amazing his batting is in July, and he grounds out right away. Come on. Are you kidding me? One away. Cam Smith due up in just a moment. Jay Paul says, what do the Tigers do today? That's a good question. They haven't played yet. They're not going to play until later. They're playing Washington. I think. I might be wrong. Maybe the information on my screen is not updated. First pitch to Cam Smith is a strike, 0-1. 2 for 2 today for Cam. See if he can make it 3 for 3. A little outside, ball 1-1. Let's take a look at the scoreboards. Let's see. The Tigers. Where are they at? Where's the scoreboard? Oh, there it is. There's the full scoreboard. 2 balls and 1 strike to Cam Smith, by the way. Yeah, the Tigers game is postponed. Maybe it was rained out. Yeah, it says inclement weather. So I guess it was rained out. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that foul ball. Cam with the 2-2 count. 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the next pitch, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, man, on the curveball. Cam goes down. No 3 for 3 for Cam today. He's 2 for 3. Well, Sergio, Detroit was supposed to play today. They got rained out. So that game was postponed. There were a couple of postponed games today. The Padres and the Phillies got postponed. The Reds and the Red Sox game is suspended right now. It's supposed to resume a little later. And the Brewers and the Mets is postponed. Lots of rain, it looks like, today. Lots of games getting postponed or delayed. First pitch is in there to Caratini for strike 1. He fouls the second pitch off for strike 2. Caratini, his last at bat, went gangbusters. He's 2 for 2 today with a single and a grand slam. The Batman calls timeout. He wants to rethink this 0-2 count. 2 outs, 2 strikes, nobody on. Come on, put another one out into the stands, Caratini. Teach this pitcher a what for. Look at that. I said teach this pitcher a what for. Doesn't even make sense. And how does Caratini respond? By swinging, striking out, and throwing his bat. That's like the total opposite of what he did his last at bat. His last at bat, he crushes it into the right field stands for a grand slam. And this at bat, he strikes out and throws his bat. That was hilarious. That's the end of the top of the 5th. We're going into the bottom of the 5th. Gordon should be still on the mound for the Astros. He's up to 75 pitches. Given up 3 runs so far. Not good for just 4 innings. But if he can get through the 5th without giving up another one, I'll be happy enough with that result. Happy enough with that result. Sergio says the Royals are leading the Mariners 1-0 in the top of the second. Go Mac Royales with cheese. Brennan says Colton not good today against 1965 team. Embarrassing. Well, I would agree with you that it's not so good, but I wouldn't say it's embarrassing considering the location and that Gordon some of the pitches, maybe you guys don't know this or not, but some of the pitches that Gordon relies on, they don't work the same in the atmosphere in Colorado. The movement is not the same, and the control is not the same. So some of them don't move around as much, and of course that means they're easier to hit. The other thing is location is much more difficult. So imagine that you're used to throwing your Swiffer, for example, your sweeper, and typically you know that if you want to get it to go in a certain spot, then you have to aim and release at a certain point, right? And in order to get to that spot. But he has to change all of that in this environment. You got to take that into consideration. So even Hunter Brown or even Framber Valdez could get blown up in this park. So swing and a miss by Jordan Beck. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch was a big whiff. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next delivery. That's going to be a left center field single. He's going for 2. He's going to stretch it. Here's the throw by Hummel, and he's going to be in there with a double. So a 1-1 pitch double for Jordan Beck, leadoff base runner. Let's see what kind of a short leash they'll have on Colton Gordon. The Astros and the Rockies now have the exact same amount of hits, 7. The only difference is the Astros are up 6-3. But I think they are talking on the phone with the bullpen right now, so they're going to get some action going. Thairo Estrada is at the plate. He bounces this one to third. Paredes goes to first for the out, but the runner will advance to third base. 1 away, runner on third. Colton Gordon slowly letting the Rockies back into this game. Don't do that, my friend. Do not do that. You know, when you go out on the mound like that and give up the runs, I don't like it. Swing and a foul tip for strike 1. Brenton Doyle at the plate. Brenton. Man, these glasses are so uncomfortable. Foul ball. The Rockies actually now have 2 guys going in the bullpen right now. 2 righties. Omoshiroi. That means interesting in Japanese. Omoshiroi. Omoshiroi desu ne. It's interesting, isn't it? 0-2, here's the pitch. Get a strikeout. Get that strikeout. Here's the pitch. Too low. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm trying to keep my clips as absolutely short as possible, guys, because I kid you not, MLB has been going after my videos like gangbusters. Copyright claiming so many things. Look at this. What? I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Colton Gordon let this ball just bounce and roll and roll and roll down the first base side. That was the most... I didn't even know how to call that. There was a tapper down the first base side. Now the Rockies are going to challenge that. The runner scores easily from third. No matter what happens here, I think the runner from third scores. But Colton Gordon let the ball roll and roll and roll and roll down the first base side, hoping it would go foul. And at the last minute, he tries to flip it to Walker. They called him out, but I don't think he got him. Look at that. What in the world happened there? Colton Gordon, man. You got to get the out there. You can't just let it roll like that. He was trying to save a run, but he might have cost him an out. At the last minute, he picks it up. At the last possible moment, he picks it up and throws it to Walker, and Walker kind of reacted quickly to try to grab it. But look at this. They're overturning it. They're saying he's safe. Look at that. That was the most nonsensical defensive play by Colton Gordon. You know what that means? That means we got ourselves an old-fashioned, an old-timey Gordon jam. An old-timey jam. Right now. The Astros lead has been whittled down to 2. 6-4. Rockies are down by 2. Runner on first with 1 out. Kyle Farmer at the plate, looking likely to try to farm up some more runs. There's the next pitch outside. Ball 1. 1-1. Brendan says, please reliever pitcher. Yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody come in now after that play. He needs to come out. This is hit high into center field, all the way back to the center field wall. Myers plays it. Holy cow, did he catch that? Are you kidding me? The runner's all the way around. But Devon didn't realize the runner was off the base. I thought that ball was off the wall. Myers caught it, but I'm not sure if he caught it off the wall or if it went straight into his glove. It looked like it was off the wall. He brings it in. Doobie doesn't realize the runner on first base is off the base. He throws it to Altuve. Altuve steps on second. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, it's hard to see if it's in his glove or off the wall. Let's see what they say. They're talking with the coach right now, trying to decide what's going on. Man, I want to see that replay again. That was a fantastic play by Myers. Whether it went right in his glove or off the wall, either way, fantastic, amazing play by Jake Myers out in center field. Okay, I see. So they're saying that there was no catch for Myers in center field, but the player at second is out at second base because they tagged the base at second. Altuve did step on second base, though. They're saying that Colorado can have it reviewed if nobody stepped on second, but I'm pretty sure that Altuve stepped on it. Yep, see, I caught it. I caught Altuve stepping on the base. That's my smart man right there. So out 2, runner on first. Here's the pitch. Line drive into left field on the very first pitch to Kyle Farmer. I'm sorry, Michael Toglia. Farmer goes to second. Colton Gordon is going to be pulled out right there. That's going to be it. Joe Espada comes out. Finally, they decided to pull Gordon out after almost giving up a home run to center field, and then another single. 4 runs allowed, 8 hits by Gordon. Not a stellar outing. Could have been worse, but, you know. Looks like Steven Okert is coming in the game for the STROS. Man. So much weird stuff. Sometimes it's difficult to describe what's going on when it's so weird. Weird stuff going on like that. But I'm still not completely sold that that wasn't a catch. Myers thought it was a catch. And they showed the replay like one time from a close-up. And from that angle, it wasn't 100% sure that it was off the wall. But the call on the field was that it was off the wall and not a catch. So Myers threw it into Doobie. Doobie gave it to Altuve. Altuve had the intelligence to go ahead and step on the base. So they got the second out at the force on second base because the runner didn't go. He thought the catch was made. The Rockies coach came out and complained a little bit, or actually he just wanted to know what was going on. They explained it to him, and they didn't make any kind of challenge because I guess they knew that Altuve had stepped on the base. So they weren't like the Cubs. If the Cubs had been in that situation, all of their managers and assistants would have come out yelling and complaining like a bunch of babies, because that's what they are, is a bunch of babies. Brendan says you're... Oh, yes, that's... Sorry about that. Thank you for reminding me. You know, I really hate that I have to click to get that to go. I just want one button that goes on, off, on, off, on, off. And even though I have streamlined it, Brendan, even though I've streamlined it, it's still not perfect. I click it, and I think I've clicked it, or I know I've clicked it, but for some reason it double clicks and turns it back on. And I have two different screens. I have my small screen down here and my bigger screen up here. For those of you who are listening, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the video previews that I'm doing. Here's the first pitch to the next batter from Okert. Fastball 93, fouled back. Strike one. 2 outs, 2 runners on, first and second. Orlando Arcia at the plate. Come on, Okert. Serve up a nice plate of hot fried Okert. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just a little outside, ball 1. Sergio, I am paying attention, but what makes you think that I'll see the live chat, but I won't see my software right here? I don't understand. You guys have no idea what I'm looking at, all of this stuff on the screen. I am paying attention. Just can't see everything all the time. I don't have 5 eyes and 5 brains. Back off with the comments like that. Here's the pitch, the 2-1, swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. 6-4. The Astros lead has been whittled down just 1 run at a time. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Okert. Ground ball to Doobie. He scoops it up, goes over to first. Barely gets it. Throws a little off, but Walker grabs it for out number 3. So Gordon gets lucky with just a 1 run, but he gives up 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Nine hits for the Rockies in this game, only 7 for the Astros. The Astros are up only because of the grand slam. If you take away that grand slam from Caratini, the Astros are down 4-2. That's how important that hit is right now. Yes, Houston, Texas Dave, Christopher Walken likes the home runs from the Astros. Yes, it was a great catch. I'm still not completely sold, though. I'm going to have to go back and look at it again later. Regardless of whether it was off the wall or not, it was a great catch. Now, was it actually straight into his glove? Don't know. Don't know. Maybe there's another camera angle that can prove it, but I haven't seen it. All right. I assume that Jimmy Herget is going to be on the mound still for the Rockies, but you never know. They actually had 2 pitchers warming up, so they may change to somebody else. Yainer Diaz is due up. He's 0 for 2 today. The Astros need to put some more runs on the board because it's clear that they're having a little bit of trouble. Luckily, Okert was able to come in and get that last out without giving up anything extra. Brendan says, why are they wasting Hunter Brown this series against the Rockies instead of the Dodgers? I don't know, man. I can only speculate. Now, based on your question, Brendan, I assume that you think there's no reason. There's no good reason for it. But obviously there must be. There must be reasons. So the question that we can ask is, what are the reasons? What are the reasons why they're going to pitch Hunter Brown? I think it has to do with rotation. Primarily rotation. Keeping the rotation. Diaz is at the plate. Fouls off the first pitch for strike one. You know, pitching in this park isn't necessarily easy. And if you definitely want that win and have a better record going into the playoffs, this game is just as important. I mean, think about it. What's so important about winning against the Dodgers right now versus winning against the Rockies? I don't think that one is more important than the other. So why do you think, Brendan, you can give me an answer to that question. Why do you think winning against the Dodgers is more important than winning against the Rockies right now? Yiner goes down on 3 straight pitches, swing and a miss. He is now 0 for 3 in this game. Angel Chivili is in the game. I guess I should change his name on the screen there. Angel Chivili. That's an interesting name. Walker is at the plate. Up and in for ball 1. Walker having a pretty good day today so far. 2 singles and an RBI. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Here in the top of the 6th. Right in the middle of the plate. 98 miles an hour. Strike 1. 1-1. Brendan says beating the best team in the league. That doesn't answer my question. Why is a win against the Dodgers more important than a win against the Rockies right now? Bragging rights? Is that what you're saying? To brag that we beat the Dodgers? I don't think that's a good reason. I mean, the fans, you're speaking from an emotional argument, an emotional fan argument. You're not speaking from a Astros management business perspective. You got to think about it from the management perspective, not the emotional. Because I want the Astros to destroy the Dodgers. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Walker. Here's the pitch. Below the zone, check swing, 2-2. Good hold up by Walker there. 1 away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. Here's the pitch from Chivili. Hey, that's hit really hard to left field, and that's going to be down for another single. How about that? 3 for 3 today with 3 singles. Christian Walker on base again. 1 runner on with 1 out. Let's add on some runs. Go STROS. Cooper Hummel comes to the plate. An opportunity for him to turn it around today. He's done abso-smurfly nothing. Here comes the first pitch. A little high and outside. Good take. Ball 1. Fox says looking to extend the lead over the worst team in the league and not play it against the Dodgers. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. But strike. Catches the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. I think that from a standpoint for playoffs and standings and all of that, it's more important to make sure you win your current game. If the next team is not a division rival, doesn't have anything really directly to do with you, and you're playing in a place where you really need somebody to pitch solidly. I mean, Hunter Brown has got a great fastball. Next pitch is in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike to Cooper Hummel. I mean, think about it. The error here is a little difficult for some of these pitchers who pitch the curveballs, the swiffers, you know, the sweepers, the whatchamacallit, any of the breaking balls. Ball 4, Cooper Hummel gets a walk. We got 2 runners on now with 1 out. All right, so Hummel does something. Dubon comes to the plate with 2 on. So if in this ballpark the best pitcher that you can put on the mound is somebody who has a lot of heat, then it makes sense to put Hunter Brown on the mound. And by the way, I'm just giving you my opinion based on the situation. But it is the rotation. And you need a win. So strike 1 to Dubon. So yes, as a fan, I would love to see Fromber and Hunter pitch to the Dodgers and kick the crap out of them. But what is more important to me in the grand scheme of things is for the Astros to get more wins, to pull further ahead in the division, to take the lead in the American League. That's most important. That's more important to me than beating the Dodgers in a game that the only thing that really matters about that game is whether it's a W or L, and that's the same in this series. Does that make sense? 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dubon. Brendan says, you guess. Well, you've got your own opinion. I've got my opinion. But I don't want to go with an emotional argument. This is tapped to the second base, or the shortstop side. Fielder's choice, no double play, but that's out number 2 at second base. We have runners on the corners as Doobie is able to beat out the slow tapper to the shortstop. Now Paredes comes to the plate. He's got a couple of strikeouts today and a walk. Hasn't yet been able to put the ball in play in a solid fashion. He's got an opportunity here for an RBI. Sousa is warming up in the bullpen, by the way. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Paredes. 98 miles an hour fastball. Jay is calling a home run for Doobie. Here's the pitch. A little outside. 1-1. Why are we not blowing out Colorado? Well, it's just because there's not as much movement. There wasn't as much movement on Gordon's breaking balls. He hits this one way up in the air. That's going to be easily playable by the left fielder, and he puts it away for out number 3. So the Astros strand runners on the corners. In the top of the 6th, 8 hits for the Astros, 9 hits for the Rockies through 5.5 innings. Astros still up, but by only a couple of runs, 6-4. Big inning in the 3rd, which gave us the lead that we have. Stephen Okert probably going to be replaced now by Bennett Sousa. He was warming up in the bullpen. So I'm going to go ahead and change that out right now. Lewis says beating the Dodgers is more important due to head-to-head during the World Series and a tiebreaker as well. Home field advantage. I see what you're saying, but we're not talking about a series against the Dodgers. We're talking about one game, because he was asking about why not use Hunter Brown in that game, in one of those games against the Dodgers. Well, we have a pitching rotation that's very important. Very important. If you hold Hunter Brown and you don't let him pitch this series and you put him into the Dodgers series, you throw off the rotation. The Astros don't have a large amount of pitching options. That is a very important point that we have to remember, guys. It's not just about maybe the managers do want to put Hunter Brown in against the Dodgers. I think they probably do. But there are reasons why they don't. That's the thing. You guys got to understand. They're not just doing things to do things. There's a reason for what they're doing, and one of those important reasons is pitching rotation. Pitching rotation is important for various reasons. I think you guys know that, though. I definitely feel the need to mention it, but I'm not going to explain why it's important. I think you should know that. I think you do know that. Sosa is in the game. The first pitch is on the way and a little outside. Ball 1 to Ryan Ritter. Next pitch on the way. Fouled off down the third base side. 1-1. Gordon hasn't gotten blown up in this game, but he's given up a single run in almost every inning except for one. Every inning except for one. Sosa trying to get his own clean inning. Second pitch is a strike to Ritter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Brendan, Ohtani is pitching. He will likely just pitch a few innings. That's my guess. And the Astros will light him up. That's what I think. I think that Ohtani is not ready to be pitching in any significant capacity. I just have a feeling he's going to get destroyed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. There we go. Foul tip, strike 3 on the 97-mile-per-hour fastball. And see, that's one thing that Sosa has that Colton Gordon does not have, an upper 90s fastball. Very good pitch to have in this ballpark. 1 away, Tyler Freeman coming to the plate in just a moment. First pitch is grounded to Doobie, who fires over to Walker for out number 2. Tyler Freeman, 1 pitch, 1 out. So that's out number 2. Six pitches for Sosa, 2 outs. Hunter Goodman at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Just a little inside and low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 85-mile-per-hour slider. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 6th. Just a couple of strikes away from getting a clean inning here. Here comes the pitch to Goodman. This is grounded to Doobie. He picks it up in the heel of his glove, fires over to Walker, a little in the dirt, but no problem. 3 up and 3 down. 7 pitches? 9 pitches? Good inning for Bennett Sosa. Thank goodness. 3 up and 3 down. That's the first 3 up and 3 down inning we've had since the first. No, I'm sorry. Since the second. The first inning, the Rockies scored a run. The third, the fourth, and the fifth, the Rockies scored runs. Finally, we have another clean inning. 0 on the board for the Rockies this inning. We go to the top of the 7th. Jake Myers due up for the STROS in just a moment. Hey Ace, welcome back. Yeah, you missed the Batman Grand Slam. It was nice, and the Astros are lucky to have it because otherwise they'd be down right now 4-2. Jake Bird is going to be the new pitcher for the Rockies. Jake Bird. Interesting. This guy doesn't look like a bird at all. He's got a big beard. Big old beard. Butterfly, hello. Thank you for being here. Myers on the road in June. 408 batting average. That's absolutely nuts. Mr. Baseball right there. 53 likes on the channel. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. First pitch from Bird on the way to Myers. He fouls that one back for strike one. 82-mile-per-hour slider. Jay says Souza is such an underrated arm. He started off a little rough in the beginning, but he has come along. He's been really good for the Astros. This is grounded up the middle, and he's able to grab it. The shortstop there cuts it off. Ritter makes the play, and Myers grounds out for the first out of the inning. Jose Altuve comes to the plate. Altuve has a walk today, but that's pretty much all he's been able to do so far. I was expecting him to have a good day today. I'm still waiting for my Altuve jersey to come in. Here comes the first pitch. Little high and inside, ball one. Good take. Pena, he has small rib fracture, so who knows when he'll be back. That's in there. 84 miles an hour on that slider. The count is even 1-1 to Altuve with one out, nobody on. Here's the pitch, 1-1. A little high and outside. Another good take by Altuve. 2-1 is the count. Jordan and Jeremy basically in the same boat right now, which is they're still hurting, they're injured. Who knows when they'll be back. Here's the pitch right in the top of the zone. Nice curveball. Didn't have too much movement on it. Looked very hittable, but Altuve took it. He took it in the top of the zone. 2-2. He is on the 10-day list, but that's meaningless. Here's the pitch. Grounded to short. Looks like he might ground out. Nice lob over to first. And he is. Altuve grounds out. He's put away again. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the 7th. After that big inning, the Astros just haven't really done anything. They threatened all the way up through the 3rd. And then they just kind of got shut down after that. Cam Smith at the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the first pitch. Foul down the first base line. Cam Smith with a couple of hits today and 1 strikeout. 2 singles. Well, yeah, it is kind of serious, but, that's how the Astros staff handle things, They don't give us clear information or timely information, and they're very opaque. Fouled off by Cam. The count is 0-2. Yeah, Brendan, I don't even understand why he's on there. I thought surely that's a mistake. Lance McCullers actually scheduled to pitch against the Dodgers? Yeah, that could be a 20-run inning, right? I don't mean to be negative, but he can't pitch against the Dodgers. I'm sorry, he just can't. That was a ball, 1-2 against Cam Smith. For those of you who don't know, McCullers is scheduled right now to pitch against the Dodgers. Can you believe that? It's going to be a strikeout for Cam Smith. Swing and a miss right there. 2 strikeouts and 2 singles for Cam Smith. He's kind of having a 50-50 day right now. Bird gets through the inning 1-2-3 against the Astros. 7th inning stretch, and that means I'm going to get my butt up and take a little walk in there in the other room, get some blood flowing in my legs, and just perhaps, grab a snack and a little something to drink. But that is it for this inning. We'll be back in just a second with Bennett Sousa probably still on the mound for the Astros, and he'll be facing Jordan Beck. Go Stros! Bennett Sousa is out of the game, guys. Magnum PI is now in the game for the Astros in the bottom of the 7th. If you don't know who that is, shame on you. That's Brian King. First 2 pitches to Jordan Beck are balls. 2-0 is the count. The Swiffer, the last pitch, missing the mark. Here's the next toss by King. That's in there. 91 mile per hour fastball in the lower part of the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. Right in there. Another one in the bottom part of the zone. 92 miles an hour. 2-2. I see that the viewers have gone down. Less and less interest in the game as it goes along. Low and inside, ball 3. The count is full against Jordan Beck. We have 2 turntables and 3 microphones. Nice little opposite field tap for Beck. Not so nice for King and the Astros. Leadoff hit on the full count. He just kind of sticks the bat out there and pokes it into right field. Thairo Estrada at the plate. Did he get hit on the foot there? No, he didn't, but the ball gets away from Yiner. Goes to the back stop there, and the runner goes to second base, so no outs. And Beck on second base. Next pitch from King on the way. High. Ball 2. King started off Beck with the 2-0 count. Came back with the 2-2 before giving up the single. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Estrada. Swing and a foul ball. 2-1 is the count. You can't say King is either good or bad. That's like saying he's 50-50, and King has not been 50-50 this year. He's only had a couple of rough outings, but otherwise he's been really good this year. 2 balls and 2 strikes with that foul ball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Estrada. Wow. High fastball fouled back to the backstop. That hit the metal backstop, and it was really loud. Right next to the microphone. It sounded like somebody outside hitting something. That's what it sounded like in my headphones there. It was so loud. 2 balls and 2 strikes. King to Estrada. Here comes the pitch. Little tapper to King. He's got the runner at third base. They get him in the hot box. Looks like they're going to tag him out easily. DeBon runs him down. Good job by Brian King there. Good defensive play. Runner on first, so the runner is moved out of scoring position thanks to the hot box there. Brian King grabs that grounder. Immediately throws it over to Paredes. Paredes throws it to DeBon, and DeBon just turns on the speed and tags him out. 1 away. Runner on first. Brent Doyle at the plate. A little bit inside. That almost got the corner, but ball 1. That is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Doyle with 1 out, 1 runner on first. Lots of ones. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball upstairs. The elevator all the way to the top floor on that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Doyle takes a timeout. Butterfly says it's almost 10 p.m. and most people have to work tomorrow. Yeah, but you're talking about one time zone. You know, there are other people listening or watching in other time zones. Strike 3. Outside edge. Brian King picks up the K. 2 away. Nice pitch. 93 mile per hour fastball. Boom. Britton Doyle got angry and struck the ground with his bat. 2 away. Kyle Farmer comes to the plate. Fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. 2 outs, runner on first. Bottom of the 7th. King trying to give the Astros another clean inning. 10 hits now for the Rockies, only 8 for the Astros. Here comes the pitch. Tap to the third base side. Paredes has got it. He fires over to first base for the out, and that's out number 3. So King has no problem getting through the inning there. Had a little difficulty with 1 hit, but the runner is eliminated. King does his job as usual. It's not common for King to get blown up. Can't compare him to Ryan Presley, Brendan. You can't do that. Whew. Let's see here. Who's coming up for the Astros? Looks like Caratini. Looks like Caratini will be up in the bottom of the 7th. Or I'm sorry, in the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th. Texas Repo, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being in. If you're an Astros fan, you're welcome to join and subscribe. Like the channel, like the video, like the live stream. My primary focus is to do live play-by-play for all of the Astros games at home and on the road. That's my aim. Occasionally I drop some videos like the one that I posted earlier today, but I don't always put in as much time and effort into those because they require so much. That one video took me nearly 20 hours to do, and I worked on it from yesterday morning all the way until almost 4 in the morning. And it's so much work to put in over something so simple. So Juan Mejia, is that how you say his name? Is in the game for the Rockies. He is facing Victor Caratini. Speaking of Caratini, he was the last one to get any RBIs for the Astros with that GS, the big old grand slam. The count is 2-0 versus Caratini. First strike is in the bottom of the zone. 2-1. Here comes the next toss. Hey, hit someone really hard out into right field, but just foul. He was gunning for another homer there. Nice swing by Caratini, but just a little too early. Nice smooth stroke. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch to the Batman. This one's tapped back to the pitcher for an easy out. He lobs it over to first. After that big swing, just a baby tapper to the mound. 1 away. That's unfortunately. Rush Plays says back. Welcome back, Rush Plays. Here comes the next pitch. First pitch to Diaz. Too far inside. Oh, man, my fan turned off. I was wondering why it was getting so hot over here. 1 ball, no strikes to Diaz. Here's the pitch. High and outside. Ball 2. I got to turn that fan back on. It is way too hot sitting over here without any airflow. There we go. Here's the 2-0. Outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Heck yeah, maybe Diaz will get himself a walk. Or is he going to unload? Is Diaz going to go after this pitch? He's got a free pitch. 3-0. Here comes the pitch. He takes it right down the middle. If I were Yiner in that situation, I would have just unloaded. If it were anywhere near the strike zone, I would have just tried my best to crush it. But he took it. 3-0. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fouls this one back. That was up and inside. That could have been ball 4. So he takes the strike and swings at the ball. Full count. Here comes the 3-2. Yanner hits that now into center field. It floats out to the center fielder, and it's caught for out number 2. Christian Walker comes to the plate, having a great day today, but unfortunately he's not having as much success as he could because the Astros are not loading up the bases for him. But he's got several hits. Here's the first pitch to him. Low and outside, ball 1. Three singles for Walker today. Here's the pitch. Fouls this one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Diaz, yeah, but Diaz is so inconsistent, you know. He starts doing better, and then he slides back, and he starts doing better, and he slides back. Way outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs to Christian Walker. Nobody on. Top of the 8th, Astros trying to get some insurance runs. Here's the pitch. Outside and in the dirt. 3-1. Cooper Hummel on deck. Will he get the opportunity to bat against this right-hander? We'll see. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Walker. Line drives that one foul down the first base side. Full count. Rockies have had many pitchers out, several pitchers, I guess you could say, instead of many, but several pitchers out on the mound, and the Astros just haven't really done anything with these relievers. This is going to be another hit for Walker. It was hit opposite field. It was a rocket. The first baseman was not able to get it. 106.2 off the bat. Man. A one-hopper, and he wasn't able to quite grab it, and it went through his leg. Are they going to give him an error? It looks like they're going to charge him with an error for now. We'll see if they change it to a hit. But Walker's on. Hummel hits this one on the very first pitch to second base, and that's going to be out number 3. So we get a runner on, and Hummel immediately grounds out. But Walker has been on base 4 times this game. 3 singles and possibly a 4th single, depending on how they score it. It's either going to be an error or a 4th single. Man, why can't Walker hit like this when we have runners on? That would be really, really helpful. Could be scraping in some runs right now, but the Astros are not getting on base. They're just not getting on base for Mr. Walker. Walker only has, let's see here. No, so check this out. Walker has 1 RBI, but he's gotten basically 4 hits. He's 4 for 4, but he only has 1 RBI. So that's pretty sad that he's actually doing something in the middle of the lineup, but he doesn't have anybody on base to drive in. That's unfortunate. The bottom of the 8th is coming up in just a moment. It's looking like we're going to have Brian Abreu on the mound for the Astros. He was warming up in the bullpen, for those of you who do not know. 10 hits for the Rockies, 8 hits for the Astros. 6-4 the Astros are winning. And by the way, they did charge the Rockies first baseman with an error. So that will not be listed as a hit for Christian Walker, unless they change it later. They might. Sometimes they get changed even after the game. We'll see. Brian Abreu is on the mound. He will be facing Michael Toglia, the 7th batter in the lineup for the Rockies. The bottom of the order for the crumbly Rocky Mountain guys. Here comes the first pitch. Right in there. Nice pitch. 85 mile per hour slider. Yep, that's right. Slider. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the next pitch. Little high and outside, ball 1. The count is even. Yeah, Brendan, you're right. Rockies have scored more than the Phillies. Here's the next pitch. Whoa, almost hit him on the inside there. Ball 2. 2-1. I actually, Brendan, I saw somebody try to troll about the Phillies. I don't know why. So I just responded with a bunch of brooms. I don't know why they were trying to troll about the Phillies. The Phillies got swept. They were garbage against the Astros in the batting department. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch to Toglia. Foul tip off of Diaz's mask. He seems all right. Look how it bounces off his mask here. 97 miles an hour. Boom. That's what those masks are for. Strike 3, swing and miss. The 86 mile per hour slider, the very first batter Abreu faces, picks up a strikeout. Nice looking slider there. Rockies only have 5 strikeouts. They've only struck out 5 times, rather. Diaz and Abreu having a little heart-to-heart on the mound, probably talking about their Pokemon Go collection. Pretty sure that's what they're discussing. Next batter is Ryan McMahon, a pinch hitter, batting .220 for the season. Left-handed batter, filling in for Arcia. 1 out, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the first pitch. Swings and misses. The slider in the dirt. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside. 1-1. One and one. Here's the delivery. Right in there. Good pitch on the outside edge. 88 mile per hour slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes to McMahon. One and 2 pitch from Abreu on the way. Right in there. Swing and miss. 98 steamer right down the middle. McMahon wasn't ready for it. Couldn't get the bat around in time. Another strikeout for Abreu. Two away. They're talking about Bryce Matthews really coming along for the Astros right now in AAA. He's named to the Futures game. First pitch to Ryan Ritter is fouled off. He's got a couple of singles and a strikeout today. 2 outs, nobody on. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. He fouls this one off on the right side, off in the crowd. Strike 2. Yes, old dog, you're right. We need more insurance runs. We certainly do. Certainly do. Abreu gets the call. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Way outside. Man, that fastball had a lot of movement on it. Sure that wasn't a slider? 99 miles an hour. That was nuts. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the next pitch. He went around that time. He knew it. Half swing. Strike 3. Abreu destroys the side. Strikes out all 3 batters in the top of the 8th. Wow. Stellar outing in the bottom of the 8th for Bryan Abreu. Love it. Once again, even when we are starting to struggle a little bit, Astros pitching still holding it together, stitching it back together, holding it together, keeping us in the game. I appreciate you guys being here. It looks like we have over 60 people following the live stream at the moment. We are in between innings. Bottom of the 8th just wrapped up. The Astros are up to bat in just a moment. Top of the 9th with Mauricio Dubon due up for the STROS. If you have a moment, please like the video. We are just 4 away on the live stream from 60. Also, just to let you know, 4 away from 570. Thank you so much. Let me take a look at that. Let me show you guys. Very close to getting to 570 subs. My goal for right now, my sub goal, is to get to 600 before the All-Star break. I think that you good people are going to get me there easily. It's just my feeling. It's not because of me. It's because of the community. If you guys are Astros fans and you want to be a part of building the only English language live play-by-play Astros channel on YouTube, if you don't believe me, you can go check it. Trust me, go check it. If there were another Astros live play-by-play doing all the games, then I never would have been here. And that's the truth. I just got tired of nobody doing it. I didn't quite understand it since the Astros have had so much success in recent years, and I thought it was silly. Why don't the Houston Astros have a committed English language live play-by-play guy on YouTube? I don't understand it, so I appreciate you supporting the channel. Dubon is at the plate. Fouls the first pitch off. 99 miles an hour on the fastball. Rockies have another pitcher in the game, Victor Vodnik. Next pitch taken for strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1, 1-2. 1-2 to Doobie. Doobie-doobie-doo. Yes, Jay, my goodness, Abreu. Hader is warming up in the bullpen now. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul down the third baseline. Doobie stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mac Royales are winning 5-3. That's nice. Here's the 1-2. Doobie hits this one down the third baseline, chops it just foul. Too bad that didn't stay fair. Could have been an infield hit. No outs so far in the top of the 9th. Nobody on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Astros looking for a way to provide some more insurance runs for Hader. It'd be nice to tack a few runs on so Hader didn't have to come in. 100 miles an hour, but it misses the mark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, the Rockies have a lot of guys throwing fast, but they need it, I think, in this ballpark. 99 miles an hour outside. Full count. Yes, that's right, old dog. Absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier. That's why Gordon was having trouble with the Rockies this game, because he's not a speed thrower. He's not that type of a tosser. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply hit into left field, if I can get it out of my mouth. Dubon has a single. How about that? A nice battle. And Dubon got around on that pretty quick. Went right through the gap between the shortstop and the third baseman. We have a runner on first with no outs here in the top of the 9th. Yeah, check this out. The Rockies lead the league. Most runs allowed per game at home, 7.48 in all MLB. He socked the ball. Paredes at the plate. Takes that first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Paredes still looking for a hit today. He has a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Hasn't done anything. Come on. Big hit. Outside, ball 2. Good take. 2-0. I'm tired of getting useless messages from this software. It gives me a pop-up message. Your streaming health is excellent. Okay, I appreciate that, but I don't need to see that. That's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Doobie on first base. The Astros with 9 hits now. 1 less than the Rockies. No outs. Umpire calls timeout because Paredes steps out of the box. Where in the world did my drink go? Ah, here it is. Here's the pitch to Paredes. Right on the outside edge. He paints it. 93 miles an hour on that outside edge. Strike 2. 2-2 is the count. That's better. Wet my throat a little bit. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. 93 right in the zone. Count remains 2-2. 59 likes. One more like to hit 60. Doobie on first, no outs. 2-2 pitch. Here comes the toss. Dubon is stealing, and this is grounded to third. Good move by Dubon to be going on that pitch. Paredes grounds out, but Doobie gets to second, no problem. So the third base double play is not a possibility. Jake Myers comes to the plate with an opportunity to move Doobie to home plate. We have 1 runner in scoring position. Myers is 0 for 4 today, but he has the ability to drive in a run. Good take, low and outside. Whoops. Ball 1. Thanks, Power of Knowing. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. We are over 60 now. Sweet. That pitch is in the low part of the zone for strike 1. 1-1. My drink is gone. Can't wait to eat. I am so hungry. Low, almost in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mr. Baseball. Jake the Snake, Jake the Rake. Quiet stadium right now. Here's the 2-1. Almost in the dirt again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jake Myers with a really good opportunity right here. If he gets a decent pitch, drive it out there and score Doobie. Let's score Doobie. Let's score Doobie. Here comes the pitch. Outside and low, ball 4. So Altuve will come up. Jose Altuve, the big hero the other day, scoring the only 2 runs in the game with his home run shot. Rockies have a little meeting on the mound with the pitcher, and they're already talking about a pitching change. Pitching coach is going to come out to delay it even further. They're going to get somebody going in the bullpen. Yes, it's Altuve time. For sure. In the U.S., do you know what day it is? In Japan, right now, it is Wednesday. But do you guys know what day it is in America right now? Can you tell me? Do you know? Right now, it is 12:18 in the afternoon in Japan. What day is it in Colorado right now? In Denver, Colorado, what day is it? Who can tell me? Let's see if you can get this answer right. I'll tell you in just a moment. Here's the first pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Let's see if any of you can get that answer right. Butterfly says it's Tuesday in Texas. Yes, but that's the incorrect answer. What day is it right now in Denver, Colorado? Here's the next pitch, the 1-0. That's right in there, 98 miles an hour. Strike one. The count is 1-1. You guys are either going to laugh or you're going to groan when I give you the answer. But here's the answer. It is Tuesday. Tuesday. Right now in Colorado, it is Tuesday. 2 balls and 1 strike to Altuve. Yes, Tuesday. Tuesday. Here's the pitch. Ooh, right in the bottom of the zone, 99 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yes. All Tuesday. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a strike 3 on the outside edge. He takes that last pitch. It was close. Should have gone around on that one, Altuve. That was right in the inside edge. 2 away, 2 runners on. Cam Smith at the plate. Come on, Cam. Crank it up. He tries, fouls it back. 90 miles an hour right in the zone. Strike 1. The fans look pretty worried. So many of those Rockies fans look worried. Vodnik comes off the mound, fakes a throw to second base. 0-1 is the count with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Come on, Cam. Let's get some more runs right here. Here's the pitch. He takes it 99 right in there for strike 2. Why are they just taking the pitches right in the zone? Swing the freaking bat. It's 0-2 now. That's basically 4 pitches in a row. 2 to Altuve and 2 to Cam that were in the zone. You gotta swing the bat, guys. If it's anywhere near the zone, swing the bat. Here's the 0-2. In the dirt outside. Ball 1. What's up, Robski? Thanks for stopping in. Here comes the pitch. 1-2. Little check swing on a low pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Power of Knowing says, I'm cheering for the Astros, but I need under 11.5 runs. So they can get 1 more run, and then that'll be okay? I'm okay with that. Here comes the next pitch to Cam. Fouls that one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 99 mile per hour fastball. So if Cam can knock in 1 run, it's okay. But if he hits in 2 runs or more, then that's no good for you. Is that right? Next pitch from Vodnik on the way in just a moment. The 30th pitch of the game for him. Here's the 2-2. In the dirt. Full count. Hey, check it out, guys. Check this out. If Cam Smith walks right here, bases will be loaded again for the Batman, Victor Caratini. Can you believe that? 2 grand slams in 1 game? That'd be hilarious. Here's the pitch. Oh, that would have been ball 4. Cam Smith, what are you doing? What are you doing, Cam Smith? You're breaking what's left of my heart. What are you doing there, buddy? You don't swing when it's in the zone, and then when it's way outside and low, you strike out. We could have had Victor Caratini at the plate again in the same game with bases loaded with a second opportunity for a grand slam. We were that close to 2 Caratini grand slams in 1 game. Can you believe it? Caratini would have had 8 RBIs in this game. Can you imagine having 2 grand slams in the same game? Man, I had it in the back of my mind, and Cam Smith, he flatlined me. He flatlined me. I didn't jinx anything. I don't believe in that nonsense. Let's see here. My guess is that Josh Hader will be on the mound. He was warming up in the bullpen. The Astros didn't add any runs. The game is too close. So they're going to bring in some heat. Well, the Astros offense isn't bad. It's just average. If you look at their overall body of work. Now, in the beginning of the year, it really was bad. But they have become basically average or slightly above average overall. So you can't really say they're bad. They're not as good as we would like. But they're definitely not good. But they're definitely not bad. They're just, as my Chinese student said to me a long time ago, they are very so-so. Very so-so. 10 hits for the Rockies, 9 hits for the Astros. The Astros have the lead 6-4. Hader's on the mound facing Tyler Freeman. First pitch is in there, strike 1, 84-mile-per-hour slider. Freeman does have a double today, but he is 0 for 2 versus Hader in his career. Here's the pitch. This one's hit high in the air. Cam Smith has time to get underneath it, should put it away, and he does for out number 1. So 2 pitches fly out. Good start. Casey says, good stream, good game. Time to close it out with the heater. Yes, the Hader heater. A little Haterade to douse the Rockies in the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Goodman hits this one hard. All the way out to center field. Might be gone, and it is. The very first pitch to Goodman is gone. 6-5. How about that? 16 home runs for Goodman this year. Can you believe that? That is 2 home runs in this game for Goodman. 1 off of Gordon, and now 1 off of Hader. He's no joke. I'm telling you guys, that guy is really coming along. He's got that you can say what you want about the Rockies, but you can't poo-poo that guy. He's batting .290. He's got 16 homers. 3rd multi-home run game of the season. He's no joke right now. High and outside. The Astros clinging to a 1-run lead right now with 1 out. Brendan, they got more than 1 good player. This is line drive through the left side. Another base hit. Hader gives up 2 hits in a row, a homer, and now a single. The Rockies have the winning run on first base with 1 out. That slider had no movement on it. Isak couldn't get to it. He was playing more on the line there. Are they going to have a little break on the mound? A little discussion? Or no? No discussion on the mound. Estrada at the plate with the runner on, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Estrada goes after it, but fouls it off for strike 1. Astros clinging to a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 9th. Hader gave up a solo homer. 12 hits now for the Rockies, 3 more than the Astros. Runner on first, 1 out. 0-1 against Estrada. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again, 0-2. 97-mile-per-hour slider, or sinker rather, from Hader. Yes, Ayush. That's right. Of all the teams to blow a save against, it has to be the Rockies. I hope not. But you never know. Baseball, you never know. You never know, do you? Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. 3 straight foul balls. The count remains 0-2. Can you imagine? Hader has what, like 23 saves in a row? Can you imagine him blowing it for this one? I wouldn't be surprised, but it would suck. Strike 3. Big strikeout there. Whew. Swing and a miss by Estrada in the dirt. Nice slider. Couldn't get it. Went down after it. Would have been a ball, but he wasn't expecting it. Now they have a meeting on the mound, finally. Brent Doyle is coming up with 2 outs. Runner on first. Brent Doyle is 2 for 4 in his career against Josh Hader, batting .500, but only a small sample size, 4 at-bats. Susan says, pray for Alvarez. Yes, Susan, I agree. And for Pena, too, and for the pitchers. We got lots of guys that can use our positive energy. Swing and a miss on that fastball, 98 miles an hour. A little bit of aggression there on Hader, serving up the Haderade. 0-1 is the count to Brenton Doyle. Here comes the next pitch, the 0-1. Fouls it off. 98 miles an hour. That was another loud bang as the ball goes to the backstop and runs right into that metal sign. 0-2. We are 1 strikeout away from squeaking by with this win. 6-5, man. I wouldn't have guessed that score. But then again, like I said, I'm not surprised. You know, the Astros sometimes do this. Here's the pitch. Little outside, ball 1, 1-2. Had 12 hits and Gordon still gets the win. Yeah, we get it right here. He sure does. He's a lucky devil. Here's the pitch. Runner's going. Check swing, and he's out. Strike 3. How about that? Hader finally does it. 24 saves in a row for Josh Hader. He manages to squeak that one out. How many times have we seen Hader do that, though? Come in the game, give up a solo home run, and still manage to barely squeak out the win. Or squeak out the save. Good grief, man. Hader, once again, making it interesting for us, right? I think that's happened many times this season, but you can't complain with the results. 24 saves for Hader. Holy freaking cow. 6-5, the Astros win with the run count, but they lose the hits. The hit battle. 12 hits for the Rockies, 9 hits for the Astros. 2 errors for the Rockies, 0 for the Astros. Yes. 1 out at a time indeed. Jesus, never in doubt. Yeah, well, when you read through the live stream and see the comments there, you can't say that about everybody. There's a lot of doubt going on, but we are going to do the game recap right quick. Let's see here. Where is the game recap? I know it's here somewheres. Here it is. Let's go back and take a look at the scoring summary and the pitching information. Then we'll do a quick preview of tomorrow's game before we're out of here. Thank you all for being here today. We are just 2 likes short of 70. If you haven't liked the live stream, please do so now. Here is the update for the game. Actually, by the way, Gordon does not get the save. I'm sorry, Gordon does not get the win today. He does not qualify for the win. Bennett Sousa gets the win. He gets credit for the win, not Gordon. Gordon didn't do enough to win the game. He didn't stay in long enough. Dollander gets the loss. He's 2-9. He gave up 6 earned runs and 7 hits. Only pitched 2.2 innings. The Astros lit him up, and thankfully so, because otherwise they would have lost this game. Hader gets his 24th save in a row. In the first inning, the Rockies scored first with a homer to center field off Gordon, 1-0. In the top of the second, Walker singled to right, scoring Smith, tied up the game, 1-1. In the top of the third, Myers grounded into a fielder's choice, scored Dubon, 2-1 Astros. In the top of the third, with bases loaded, the Batman Victor Caratini came to the plate. Grand slam to right field, batting lefty, 413 feet, scoring Myers, Altuve, and Smith. 6-1 Astros. It looked like the Astros were just going to blow up this game because that was in the third inning. And I just kind of thought the Astros are going to wind up with 12 or 13 runs this game. But they didn't get another single run the rest of the game. That was it. That grand slam from Caratini was the last RBI for the Astros. From there, the Rockies continued to chip away 1 run at a time. In the bottom of the third, Estrada hit a sacrifice fly, scoring Goodman. 6-2 was the score. In the bottom of the fourth, Freeman doubled to left, scoring Ritter. 6-3. In the bottom of the fifth, Doyle reached on an infield single to the pitcher. Terrible play on that by Gordon. Didn't even get the out at first base. Another run scored, 6-4. And in the bottom of the ninth, Hader gave up a home run to left center field, 443 feet, 6-5. The Rockies almost completed a comeback against the Astros by literally scoring 1 run at a time. They scored 1 run in the first, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth. I'm sorry, in the ninth. But the Astros held on just long enough. Our relievers mostly got the job done, but Gordon was struggling with the movement on his pitches. Couldn't get the strikeouts that he normally gets. Couldn't get the outs that he normally gets. Here's our pitching performance. We had 6 guys on the mound today for the Astros. 6 guys. Gordon pitched 4.2 innings. I think you got to go 5. He missed a win by 0.1 innings. Yep, got to go 5 innings to get the win. You're right, Jay. So he did not qualify. He gave up 9 hits, guys, and 4 runs, 2 walks, and only 3 strikeouts. So Gordon struggled a lot today. He's lucky he only gave up 4 runs. Steven Okert came in, pitched just the rest of the 5th inning, gave up nothing. Souza came in the 6th inning, got 1 strikeout, gave up nothing. Brian King came up in the 7th inning, gave up 1 hit, got 1 strikeout, gave up nothing. Brian Abreu came in the 8th, was completely on lockdown mode, struck out the side. 3 strikeouts for Brian Abreu. He was the best pitcher by far in this game. He was solid. Hader came in and did get 2 strikeouts in the 9th and his 24th save in a row, but he also gave up 2 hits, including a solo home run blast, and almost cost the Astros the game. However, it was just enough. We squeaked in a win. The Astros are 51-34. Whew. A very tension-filled win for the opening game. We have 2 more games against the Rockies. Next game coming up tomorrow. Let's take a look at the scoreboard right quick. But first, let me see what's going on in the live chat. J. Paul says Royals still up 5-3. Very cool. And let's see here. It's a Colorado dress. Interesting. Sergio says tomorrow's game's 7:40 Central Time. Hunter Brown. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's game. I think we'll have a much better result tomorrow. Low scoring for the Rockies. At least 5 runs for the Astros. That's what I'm hoping for. Sergio says, thank you. Brendan, thank you. Appreciate your help. Thank you for joining the live chat. Absolutely. Real quick, let's take a look at the scoreboard going around the league. I'd like to show it to you on the screen, but MLB is copyright claiming it. Even though it's an ESPN website, it's an MLB feed. So I can't show it on the screen, but for more than maybe 3 seconds. So it's kind of useless to show you the scoreboard for 3 seconds. I can just tell you. The Royals are beating the Mariners right now in the middle of the 7th, 5-3. Go Mac Royales with cheese. Other games of note, the Dodgers are winning 6-1 over the White Sox. The Stankies got destroyed, if you missed that earlier, by the Blue Jays, 12-5. The Stankies are 48-37. The Astros are now a few games ahead, or a couple games ahead at least, of the Yankees. How about that? Let's see what else is going on here. The A's beat the Rays 4-3 in 10 innings. The Angels beat the Braves 4-0. The Rangers destroyed the Orioles 10-2. That's unfortunate. Don't care about the Cubs. The Phillies will be playing the Padres later. The Tigers game is postponed. Yeah, the Padres, Phillies were postponed. The Tigers, the Nationals are postponed because of rain. There are a couple of other games that were suspended or postponed because of weather. But that's where we stand today. The Astros in the standings right now, still second in the American League, but not very far behind the Detroit Tigers. If the Astros can sweep this series and the Tigers can lose 1 or 2 games in their series, that'd be nice. We can gain some more ground. Currently, we are 6.5 games ahead of the Mariners. The Mariners lose today, that'll be 7 games. 8.5 games ahead of the Angels. And check this out, 9.5 ahead of the Rangers. With this result today, I can't believe, isn't that crazy? The Rangers have slipped so much. They have become so bad. 9.5 games back from the Astros. That's amazing. I love it. When you're in Texas, look behind you, because that's where the Rangers gonna be. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. All right. Astros are a 600 team. 600 winning percentage team. How do you like that? How many teams are at a 600 winning percentage? The Detroit Tigers, the Houston Astros, and the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's it, guys. There are only 3 teams in baseball right now that are at a 600 winning percentage. The Tigers, the Dodgers, and our Astros. How do you like that? Anyway, that's it for all of that. Tomorrow's game, and then we're out of here. Let me go back. Back. Full schedule. Tomorrow's game, same time as today's game. And I will be here as usual. So you can look for the video that I will post later. And you can click on turn on the notifications if you want to get reminded. Hunter Brown is scheduled to be on the mound against Austin Gomer. Austin has a 6.14 ERA. He has only pitched 14.2 innings. His record is 0-1. In 14.2 innings, he's given up 18 hits. He's gotten 5 strikeouts, walked 3 batters, and given up 3 home runs. So, not a large sample size. He hasn't pitched many innings this year. So we have a good opportunity to light him up tomorrow. Astros are predicted to win this game. You can see right here maybe. I'll show you on the screen. 73.7% chance to win this game. I think they had about a 64% chance to win today's game, but it has gone up significantly for tomorrow's game. Almost 74% chance according to the ESPN tracker. Looking forward to that game. I really expect a great game tomorrow. Not so close as today's game. I certainly hope not. But anyway, thank you all again for being here. We got to 570 subs. I just noticed that. Thank you so much. Check that out. 570 subs. Awesome. 30 away from 600. 600 is the goal before the All-Star break. I do hope that you can subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for liking the live stream, following along all of the comments, and all of the support. I do appreciate it more than I can express. Absolutely. I'm going to take a break. Time to go get some food. It's almost 1 o'clock. Really, really time to eat right now. Casey, you are welcome. Butterfly, you are welcome. Everybody, thank you very much for being here. And I do appreciate all of your support. See you tomorrow. And until then, of course, I'll just say, go STROS.